You are now listening to the J Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay.
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the J Porks Experience. I'm J Porks. With me, as always, on the other side of the glass, making sure this is a well-oiled podcast machine every single mother-freaking week. Behind the glass, nobody. So what goes on, folks? A lot of things happened this weekend, and we are going to get to them. Big Oscar night. The Oscars were huge. For those of you who can still afford to go to the movies, the Oscars were a big thing. The Oscar parties, the Oscar picks, who's going to win, is the American war propaganda film going to win, or is the film with the guy twitching around for 3 hours like Stephen Hawking going to win? Gotta tell you, no interest whatsoever in what was going on at the Grammys, but one thing caught my eye. One thing caught my eye, and it was not John Travolta's hair. Wow. It was not that. Vern Schillinger. For those of you who don't know, before J.K. Simmons was a big star, he used to bang dudes in the ass on a television show called Oz that was on HBO. So he won for Whiplash. Whiplash is the movie where he's the music teacher. And from what I hear, there are music teachers like that, where he's screaming at the kid or whatever. Anyway, J.K. Simmons won for supporting actor or something. I have no idea. I wasn't watching because I don't watch the fucking Oscars because I don't watch movies. And, you know what? I just want to say that, like, I'm not going to repeat. I don't want to repeat my bit from last week, or was it the week before, about the Grammys, on how the artist who really wins the Grammys is the artist that music you bought, whose albums you bought, whose tour you went to go see. Same thing with these movies. If you liked a movie, who cares if the Academy liked it or not? Why does it matter to you? Do you get to see? It's not like this movie. It's not like it wins an Academy Award, so I get to see this movie a bunch of other times for free. It's not any of that. In 5 years, do you remember any of these movies? All the Oscar winners I compare to Sam Smith. In 5 years, do we know who any of these are? And J.K. Simmons gets up there, and, you know, good for you for finally being famous. I mean, good. And he says, call your mom. This is piggybacking off the notion that people aren't calling they're not calling people enough. They're texting, and they're Twittering, and they're Facebooking, and they're Tumblring, and any other way you can misuse what they're actually doing in terminology, they're doing it. It's like that McDonald's commercial. There's a McDonald's commercial that's, you go to pay, it's like, how much is this? And the guy's like, call your mom, tell her you love her. I don't understand this whole movement. Like, when Alexander Graham Bell was inventing the telephone, did people tell him, you know, Alex, you're a little antisocial. Maybe you should go to your mom's house. Like when payphones were invented, back in the whenever payphones were invented, were people using a quarter to call their house, and then was one of their friends saying, you know, technology, you should just walk over there. I mean, it's never enough, is it? It's never enough. Whatever I do is not enough. Well, no, here's why I'm not calling my mom. Because I live with her. That's why. I see her every fucking day. She knows how I feel. I don't need to call her from McDonald's and say, hey, I hate you. I don't need to do that. She's aware. I'm sick of actors. Vern Schillinger is going to tell me that I need to call my mom. Vern Schillinger. Really. The leader of the Aryan nation in Oz is going to talk to me about calling my mom. Technology means I don't have to do that. I'm going to enjoy technology because I'm here in the future and I don't intend on going to the past anytime soon. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense that every actor needs to tell me that I need to call my mom. I don't want to call anybody. You should text your mom. You see, now, if your mom got a text from you, wouldn't she feel like, aw, that's sweet, she can save the text? Get lost. You know what? I know I bust out my Mike Francesa impersonation a little too much on this show, but get lost. Get lost with that. Really. Please. Like I'm going to call. The only reason I'm calling my house is to see if anyone in my house needs drugs on my way home. Because I don't want to have to go back out when I make it home. That's annoying to me. I know every now and then I come here and I remind you that I'm a waiter. But sometimes it just goes too far. Wow. It goes too far. I don't know why I went up to Boston for a second. So I have this bit. So here's the thing. Me in the dining room, I'm not, and I can't stress it enough, I'm not just saying this to get you to listen to the podcast. I'm not just saying this to get you to my restaurant. None of you are within an earshot of my restaurant. I'm not a normal waiter. I don't go around, hey, would you like to hear our specials? Straight faced and all that. That's not me. I go to the table and I've told you this man, hello, la la la. How we doing, guys? Yeah. They're like, why are you so happy? No, this is what you do when you can't do anything else. The job is to keep you happy because you're going to pay me at the end. Okay, so I've got bits and I've got things I do. And throughout the course of the meal, I drop little hints about how I don't make that much money. Like I was singing and some hip hop the other day. Primo pizza barely pays me. That's what I was saying. And they said, you know what you need to do? You need to get a new job. You know what's good? Have you ever heard of hotel and restaurant management? There's a 2-year program for that. You'd be great for that because you got the personality for it. You got the personality and you can really do it. Here's the thing about that. I don't understand how my personality plays into managing a hotel. I don't understand how that would actually work. But this 80-year-old woman is telling me that having a good personality means that I will be able to manage a hotel successfully. All right. Good. I'm good. You know what? Giving me the advice makes me think you're such a nice person. I mean, really. Who would have thought that there were people out there willing to give advice to a little old waiter like me? People are giving me advice, showing me the way, how to make a couple extra bucks. And I really do appreciate it. You know what I'd appreciate more? I'd appreciate more if you'd maybe leave me an extra $2. I would really appreciate if you did that. I love all these stories that customers tell me. Every excuse in the book just not to leave me an extra $1.50. You're going to tell me about my career choices? I never once said that this was anybody's fault but mine. Do me a favor. Instead of giving me a lecture about how I can better myself as a human being and make more dead presidents, why don't you help me out initially right here by leaving more money on the table? Is it that hard? Listen, I'm not asking you to up your tip from 4 to 20. I'm saying that these people left 7, they could have left 10 instead of giving me the lecture about how I should take the city test, about how I should take the hotel restaurant management test. First of all, I'm the waiter now. Why would I want to manage the restaurant? You know what managing the restaurant gets you? No tips. That's what it gets you. You know, you really got to try. You know what you should do? You should do stand-up comedy. Well, do I sit when I bring you the food? Or am I standing when I do it? I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I got 2 of my friends this week started doing stand-up. So if there was any chance of me being funny, I'm already third. I'm already third in the list of friends I have where I'm funnier. Correct answer is 0. I mean, really, these people will go through, and they will do anything just not to leave me an extra buck. And I'm sick of it. People go out to restaurants, they forget how the fuck to live. Hey there, how many are you going to be? Boy, it's cold out there. Oh, that's great. How many are you going to be? Ooh, so we can sit anywhere we like? Yeah, as soon as I know how many are going to be. What about that table in the corner? Can you tell me how many you are? The whole next hour of your life depends on me knowing how many people are sitting at this fucking table. Stop jumping the question. I say hello when I get to the table. When you walk through the door, I want to know how many you are. Because every time I don't ask, 2 people walk in and they go to that table of 8. And I'd say, what the fuck are you doing? You're only 2 of you. And say, oh, we got 10 more people coming. Oh, and you didn't think maybe to pass that information along to me? You didn't think that might be vital to me? You just thought I would just be adding tables throughout the night? Like that lady the other night who tells me you guys are going to work harder tonight? We're going to work harder. Have you met me? Have you met me? Jay motherfucking Porks. I'm going to work harder. Yeah. And I might quit smoking pot and doing drugs too. Ha! LOL. I'm gonna work harder. That lady, oh my god. See, I'm lucky I work with this kid, Matt, who's like, he's kind of like me, except he's not a junkie and he's not a crazy maniac. So, like, if some table comes in that I'm, like, not feeling, I just be like, Matt, do me a favor, can you just take that table? And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, it's all good. Because I would have just fucking ignored those people. You told me I'm going to have to work harder. Here's the thing about working harder. I dropped out of high school. I dropped out of GED school. Dropped out of drug rehab. I dropped out of fucking Hebrew school. I dropped out of everywhere. I will never, ever work a little harder. Working a little harder is not in my... I make $3 an hour as a waiter. How do you think I got the job by thinking, what difficult places can I work? Do you think honestly, McDonald's is probably harder than my job right now. McDonald's is probably harder. It doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna work harder. Sure. Sure, yeah. What, so you can leave me $8 and tell me to go take the city test? Fuck you. Die. Now I know Andy tells me he was serving. And he's always got these, like, he doesn't have horror stories like I do. I feel like I'm gonna fucking kill somebody when I get out of there. And then after one of these long nights of work, I'll get to the bus stop, and it's like snowing / raining. I don't complain about the weather. I complain about when a car drives near the curb and splashes a puddle on me. That's fucking annoying. People are real tough in the car, but they will never pull over. They will never pull over and have that conversation with me when I got my hands out like, what are you doing? Because they know that I'm from Brooklyn and there's going to be 2 sounds. Me hitting that person twice. Everyone's such a tough guy when they're driving by me at the bus stop. Love it. Seriously. So anybody coming into my restaurant who wants to tell me to work a little harder, turn around, take it somewhere else. It's not happening. I'm not about that life, son. Emails, headlines on the other side.
Hey everybody, this is Andy from the Andy Dare Show. Just thanking you for checking out the Jay Porks Experience. If you want to learn more about Jay, follow him on Twitter at JPorks. Follow him on Instagram at JPorks. JPorks.com for the podcast, articles, pictures, you name it. There's a running theme here. It's JPorks. So for 2015, if you want to support the Dare Podcast Network, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com and click on the Amazon banner, and you will be tipping your cap to the Jay Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here at Dare Network. Thanks for listening, and back to the Jay Porks Experience.
And we are back. Email segment sponsored by... Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it. In all seriousness, we're working on a sponsor for the email segment right now. You may have seen Andy tweet out send a tweet to Be Real of Cypress Hill concerning Phuncky Feel tips. They're these glass tips that you roll into your tobacco cigarettes, allegedly. And I want to do a live read for them, and I want them to sponsor the email segment, and I don't want anything for free from them because I already bought my stuff. Just the thing is, you go to the Phunky Feel Tips website, and there's no way to get in touch with them. The only way to get in touch with them is to email. There's an email address to send in some if you have problems with your order. So I emailed that email. I was like, I'm sorry, but can I do a live read? I don't need anything for free. I don't even need them to write it. I just want them to say okay. Truthfully, I can do it on my own, but I'd like them to know I'm doing it. Phunky Feel Tips changed my life, man. They could change yours too. Let's get to the emails. All right. Got one from Deborah over here. In all caps. Says, when's the last show you went to? Are you ever going to a concert again? Maybe use a period, and I won't read it like it's one sentence. Yeah. Good question. Yeah. I mean, shows used to be my life. Shows are still my life, but just not a lot of them come around on days where I can make it. Couple of things I'm looking at right now. Yesterday, Kim Gordon was in Brooklyn. I couldn't get to that because I didn't make enough money to buy her book because people chose not to come in on Saturday night where I work. So I made no money. But the concerts I'm eyeing right now, I'm eyeing Stone Temple Pilots at Irving Plaza. I may be trying to use my Meat Puppets strong arm connections to save myself some money. I don't mind paying for the ticket. I just, by the time I save up for the tickets, they're going to be sold out. That's my only issue. There's that, and Faith No More is touring. Listen, if any bands come to town on a day I'm off work, I'm in. I want to go. I want to go really bad. I wanted to go see Dean Ween Group last Wednesday, but I had to work Wednesday, and I'm working this Wednesday. More people are going to tell me I'm not working hard enough. Got to work harder for that $3 an hour. Somebody here, this was here last week too. Somebody wants to know how I got the name Jay Porks. I've never covered that on the podcast before. Alright, well, when I was like 15, there was a group of us, and there was 2 J's. So instead of me being J number 1 and him being J number 2, I was Porky, and he was Smiley. We ended up calling him J number 2 anyway. He ended up being J, and I ended up being Porky. But my parents say they were calling me that when I was a kid, so it's up for debate where the porkness came in. And let's see. All right. No, what that'll be the emails this week because everything else is not needed right now. All right. Want to get to the headlines powered by Annie Quiet? Of course you do. Oh, are you kidding? Annie Quiet, AQV6, feeling so fly like a V6. Annie Quiet's they've adjusted their front page. It's, you know what the kids would say? It's on fleek. That's what they would say. That's what it is. It is definitely on fleek. And there's a lot of new music happening. Ooh. And my Stone Temple Pilots 14 cities tour dates have been renamed to Stonechester Pilots, which, if I was witty enough, I would have thought of that myself. You can hear new music from Queen Kwong Rock made. Oh my god. The Gay Blades are back with the Seven Sins. By the picture, I can honestly tell you that they are not black, but they are back with a song called Seven Sins. Omniflux, Dance in Your Blood. It's a new song. Got new music from the Beta Machine, The End. There's a lot of new music happening because that's what we're gonna bring you. We have a review of the new Marilyn Manson album. Marilyn Manson upgrades the goth rock throne as the Pale Emperor. Got a 9 score. I'm assuming that we're scoring out of 10. New music from Dorothy. Wicked Ones. And I really like the new. I know I work for them. I really like the new Annie Quiet. It's not everything is moved around. It's not like, oh man, you ruined it for me. Nope, it's everything's where you can find it, and it is very fleek. Oh, we social. It's good times. Okay. Some other headlines. You know what else we got? Got a new crunchy new Darkness track. The Darkness folks are releasing a new record called Last of Our Kind. And it is due out on June 1st. And it's produced by guitarist Dan Hawkins. It's the follow-up to 2012's Hotcakes. And preceded by the newly released single Barbarian, which is awesome. According to vocalist Justin Hawkins, the song has not one but 2 dramatic monologues, a guitar solo that has been declared irresponsible, a riff that weakens lady knees, and a chorus that makes grown men shit directly into their pants. I love these guys. The lyrics describe the Viking invasion of East Anglia. Wow. Which culminated in the depression of Edmund the Martyr. He adds, so yeah, classic Darkness. This album sees the debut of new drummer Emily Dolan Davies, who replaced original drummer Ed Graham after a split last year. Hope she ain't related to James Dolan. Davies will make her live debut with the Darkness at an intimate secret show. The secret show is taking place March 4th on Ireland's Valencia Island as part of a 10-show run across the country to road test their new material next month. Last of Our Kind. The song is awesome. It's crunchy. I was blasting it right before I hit record. Right before I hit record, I was like, let me blast this new Darkness track. Crunchified. What else we got in the headlines department? In the headlines department, we have at ChristinaRocks.com, you could stream a majestic new Swerve Driver LP. I Wasn't Born to Lose You. It's available via NPR stream through March 1st. Look at this. On Monday, I just found on Monday night, Warren G and Kenny G did Regulate on Jimmy Kimmel. I just watched it. It was the only cool thing Kenny G has ever done in his life. That shit was rad. And then I saw that Warren G is going on a tour, the G-Funk Experience, but it's only going to stay on the West Coast. Hitting Vancouver, 3 dates in Washington, 4 dates in Washington, and 4 dates in Portland. In Portland. Warren G. He don't need no Nate Dogg. Well, he does. Nate Dogg, man. We were talking about Nate Dogg at work. That guy can write a hook, man. That guy can sing a hook. And the Pixies, ooh. The Pixies are touring. Pixies are touring this May. No Kim Gordon. I don't know who's the bass player? Kim Shattuck? Oh no, Paz Lechitan, because both Kims have left. Okay, so where is this tour going, you ask? It's going to New Orleans, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Niagara Falls, Vermont, Cooperstown, which, by the way, if I'm a band, I'm always stopping in Cooperstown just to check out the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's going to hit Boston at Boston Calling. That's two city dates. It's got New York City at the Beacon Theater on May 27th, and in Brooklyn on May 28th at King's Theater. I'm born in Brooklyn, also known as Kings County. I have no idea where the King's Theater is. I'm going to investigate that. I'm going to find out where it is. We've got that. A bunch of headlines, and more will be on the notes. If stuff happens, I will get it to you. There is one thing happening today that I want to talk about, and that's the mayor of Washington, D.C. Yep. We're going to marijuana, so you guys can skip it if you want. Sorry. Every week this is going to happen. D.C. Mayor Muriel E. Bowser, boss like Bowser, on Tuesday vowed that the nation's capital would not be another Amsterdam when marijuana takes legalization effect on Thursday. That's in 2 days, by the way. Bowser said she would ask the D.C. Council to approve emergency legislation to prohibit private clubs from following the model of Amsterdam coffee shops, where pot could be openly exchanged. The move could rein in a potential free-for-all when a voter-approved measure to legalize marijuana takes full effect on Thursday. Residents spoke loud and clear when they voted to legalize small amounts of marijuana in the District of Columbia, Bowser said. The task now, she said, is to implement it in a safe, fair, and transparent way. Even though legalization of marijuana is expected to take effect Thursday in the district, parts of D.C. are still under federal jurisdiction. National parks, military property, and other land owned by the federal governments total 18.1 square miles in the district, 29% of the city's total area. Marijuana will still be illegal on federal land. Although voters overwhelmingly approved legislation in November, Congress blocked the district the following month from enacting laws to regulate the sales of the drug. D.C. officials have contended that the congressional interference did not halt the voter-approved measure known as Initiative 71. Bowser's office said for the first time Tuesday that Initiative 71 will take effect 12:01 a.m. on Thursday. That marks the end of a 30-day congressional review period in which conservatives in Congress could have moved to quash, I think that's supposed to mean squash, the measure outright. House Republicans have said they believe Initiative 71 was blocked by the spending restriction in December. The issue could be left to the court to decide. Until then, Bowser and D.C. Police Chief Kathy L. Lanier laid out the contours of how district police plan to respond to the law change. As specified in the ballot measure, district residents and visitors will be able to possess up to 2 ounces of marijuana, about a Ziploc bag's worth. Residents will also be able to cultivate the plant in their homes, up to 6 seedlings each, and up to 3 plants to maturity. DC police will stop ticketing for possession, which last year was downgraded to a civil offense instead of a criminal one in the city. The department will also stop using the existence of marijuana on a person or in a home as rationale for investigating other criminal behavior. Police, however, will attempt to draw a bright line prohibiting public use. Dude, I don't care. I don't want to smoke outside. I haven't smoked outside since I was 16 years old. Public smoking can result in 60 days in jail or a $500 fine. Fuck that. I'll smoke it inside. So here's the thing. There's a 2 days. In 2 days, pot will be legal in the District of Columbia. That is 1 bus away from my house. What's up? Any restaurants hiring? Are there any restaurants hiring? Because I need to get the fuck out of here. Bowser. Can't believe her name is Bowser. Boss like Bowser. Alright, so how rad is that? How rad is it that pot might be legal? Maybe. You see, here's the thing. The thing is, DC, by 70% of the vote, elected to legalize. So then Congress said, no, we're not spending any money to help you legalize. Whoa. They don't need any money. In order to... Not arresting people doesn't cost money. Arresting people is what costs money. To leave someone alone doesn't cost any money. You're not going to let them open up stores? That's fine. That's stupid, but that's fine. Because you don't want to spend taxpayers' money or whatever. Trust me when I tell you, the best way for Washington, D.C. to go about this is to follow the model that Colorado and Washington are using, and as of today, Alaska. Just sell it in the store. Have a store. Have that store make tax dollars for your community. Washington, D.C. has an opportunity right now to actually rise up from the crack-ridden place it's always been. It can actually be something, because if you opened up if you opened up marijuana stores there, then you would have the only place, repeat that, the only place on the East Coast that has recreational marijuana. And can I remind you that in New York City, when people get if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I know people who drive to Philly for cheesesteaks. Okay? So if people are driving to Philly for a cheesesteak, and by the way, it's not Pat's or Gino's, go to Kim's. Go to Kim's. I'll tell you, my friend Carly, if you're going to Philly, hit me up. I'll hit up my friend Carly and I'll tell you where the fucking cheesesteak place is. Fuck Gino's, fuck Pat's. But people go to Philly for cheesesteak. So I'm damn sure we're going to be going to DC for pot. Definitely going to happen. I'm off Wednesday, Thursday. I'm off Sunday, Monday. Go down to DC, meet some friends. Actually, as soon as I'm done recording this podcast, and I swear to God I'm doing this, I swear that I'm going on Craigslist to see what's going on down there. Who wants to be friends? Who's got rooms for rent? Who's planning to move forward with growing marijuana? Who wants me to help them? Who needs a waiter? All that. I'm there. I am there. Okay. Warren G and Kenny G about to regulate. I love regulate. That's like one of the. I'll do another episode on this, but that's like one of the top hip hop. That's one of the top rap songs, storytelling rap songs of all time. That and like Big L's The Heist, and like Brain Damage, Eminem. There's a couple of rap songs that you see everything happening because it's so descript. It's not like they took a line off to talk about their chain. I can't believe it. They taken Warren's wealth. This guy's such a tough guy. He's getting jacked. Nate Dogg had to come save him. All right. Guys, I wish I could talk to you all day, but I have to get to work and hear people tell me about how I should get another job if I want to make more money instead of before this woman puts on her fucking mink coat, maybe she can leave me another $2. But before I get out of here, let's get to the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. First of all, we've got ContentConfessions.com. That's for all your live music, news and reviews, for the fans, by the fans. New on the scroll is Snowcore 2015 with Flyleaf, Framing Hanley, Fit for Rivals, That Hit Illinois. Check that out, courtesy of Concert Chick. Also go to ChristinaRocks.com, hang the DJ, 89xradio.com every Sunday morning for the Time Warp. Throwback Thursday, only it's on Sunday. Hit her up on Twitter at Christina Rocks. Tell her I sent you for no apparent reason. We've also got. Come on, what's the other one? Andy. TheAndyDeerShow.com. That's for all your Deer Network podcast needs, whether that's The Andy Deer Show, The Tyler Care Show, or the smooth, sultry tones of the J Forks Experience. You could find that at Deer Network. Also, shout-outs to him. Did you see, real quick, Huffington Post had an article, 5 things you didn't know about Nirvana on Kurt Cobain's birthday? And one of these things was Aaron Burkhart was quoted from when he was on the Andy Deer Show. It said, in the Huffington Post article, it said, Aaron Burkhart told the Andy Deer Show. So shout outs to him for winning the fucking internet that day. Awesome. So as seen in the Huffington Post, you can go to theandydeershow.com and jporks.com for all my stuff. And as always, the headlines are always on fleek, and they're always powered by Annie Quiet. Till next week, whiskey, weed, Warren Zevon. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.